What is up, guys, and welcome back to another analysis of the major dollar pairs. Starting off with the dollar index. Dollar index is currently in demand, as we have pretty much been anticipating throughout the last couple of weeks. As we can see, if we go down in towards the 4-hour time frame, we've tapped in towards this refined 4-hour area of demand. Now, what is going to be happening next? Well, if I look at the market over here, we still have these two imbalanced candles, which you can also see as a fresh zone right below the daily area of demand. We came pretty much deep in towards this area of demand, and what I now need to see is some kind of like substance to a bullish move back up. Highest probability move, and that will indicate that there's actually going to be a pullback, is if we break this high over here, kind of see some pullback in towards a new demand that is created by taking out that high and then seeing that further upside. Dollar index overall is pretty overextended, so it is good to look for a potential pullback on the dollar very soon after that break of structure on the 4-hour. So then, of course, see the dollar index from a daily perspective move down even lower to take out this swing low over here at 107.88. So that's it for the dollar index. Now Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, of course, took out the range high, which I mentioned yesterday. As we all know, we have been ranging in between this high over here and this low over here. And as I mentioned, it's very likely that you're going to kind of like take out one of the highs and then see kind of like an aggressive pullback. That is currently what's happening. So now we are seeing that pullback back in towards this area of demand. So from there, we can look for that potential long in line with the overall daily structure and potentially see that further upside or new upside movement. Overall demand is in control for Aussie dollar. As we can see, your sell before the buy, your sell before the buy, and then of course another kind of like sell back down in towards let's say these two candles over here, moving back up again, and now a pullback. So this area of demand, of course, refined to, let's say, from wick to the lowest wick over here, this sell, this last sell before the buy, that is pretty much where all the demand is located. Of course, you could also draw it like this, but I prefer just to refine it to the last candle, tap in towards here, and then look for that further upside movement. I would manage it a little bit slightly more aggressive due to the fact that we have kind of seen a fake out on the high over here. But what I like is that we haven't yet tapped in towards this area of supply. So preferably I would see one more push, for example, before, let's say, taking out this low of the range and then moving up higher. Of course, that doesn't need to happen. We don't need to take out this low, but often when you see range trading, then it is often the case that we do kind of like move back down in towards the lower area of the range. For example, fill that area or take out that low and then move slightly lower in towards that lowest area of daily demand. That is something that I definitely will keep in mind. However, with the daily structure and the 4-hour structure now both being bullish, I am more than happy to kind of like be slightly more aggressive and of course take a trade over here from this area of demand. So yep, let's see how we get into there. Quickly dive in towards the 15-minute time frame. There are multiple areas of fresh demand. For example, over here, and even over here from where you can look for a trade. So just wait for price to get in towards there, and then just wait for a structural break and then look for those longs. Potentially also a change of character would also already be fine to look for longs for. Now euro dollar, of course, saw a break of structure here on the 4-hour. I would not classify this as a pullback for now. Of course, highest probability longs are either from this area of demand or this area of demand, and then preferably see a push up higher to take out that daily swing high over here at 1.10955. So I am expecting further upside from euro dollar. For now, just waiting for the market to pull back slightly more. Of course, if you look at it from again from a 4-hour perspective, you could also classify this as kind of like a demand zone. For me personally, not high probability enough. This is a significant zone over here. Why? Because it took out this structural high. This over here, significant zone. Why? Because it took out this area of supply. This over here, I would not classify as that significant because it just took out an internal high. So for me, it is not really that significant. It just drove price pretty much up in towards this supply zone over here. So yeah, that is that, what I'm waiting for. And let's see if we get that pullback. Looking at it from a 15-minute perspective, 15-minute overall is still bullish. You can of course look for, let's say, longs from wherever, but yeah, just not really my cup of tea. Personally, I would just wait for that 4 hour to develop. Now pound dollar just slightly missed out on this area of supply up above over here. For now, what am I waiting for? Well, I'm waiting for a pullback, of course, in towards this area over here, this sell before the buy, and inside this area I want to go long. That is just what I'm waiting for, very simply said. So that's what I'm going to be waiting for. Also from a daily perspective, it's the highest probability that we do push slightly higher. Still, if we just draw it from the lowest wick pretty much of the overall buy before the big sell-off, then you still haven't tapped in towards that area of supply. So I am just refining it to the last buy before the sell, and we have not tapped in towards there yet. So there is still further upside potential for pound dollar. Just keep it in mind. We are kind of like seeing some squeezing price action in towards the highs. That's just what we're kind of like reacting to at the moment, this 1, 2, 3. So just keep in mind you kind of have this ascending wedge, or preferably just a slightly higher movement in towards that supply, and then look for shorts. That is it for me from pound dollar. Kiwi dollar overall, very messy, as we can see, not that much going on. Yeah, I am not a big fan of the overall price action here. You could say that there's some demand inside here or whatever, but yeah, again, just very rangy price action. Nothing for me over there. Dollar Swiss, dollar CAD, yeah, dollar Swiss or dollar yen, excuse me. So dollar yen is currently in this 4-hour area of demand over here. If we look at it from a daily perspective, we can of course see that we have daily demand located over here. This is being a swing low, so a beautiful pullback in towards the downside. This is your swing range. We're inside discount, so it's good probability to look for longs. Overall, look at the 4-hour. 4-hour, of course, reacted to this initial zone, as we can see over here, but then nothing really significant happened. Moved in towards this last sell for the buy candle, and now we are seeing some bullish reaction, but still, highest probability would come if we see a break of this structural high over there. This calls a change of character on this low, or a continuation character. So this is the high to break. If we break that high, then definitely look for those longs. Or if you're a little bit more aggressive, you could already look for longs from here. But again, that is very aggressive, but just look at the 15-minute, look for structure over there. What you could say is that this is kind of like your structure over here, push down, pull back, push down, push up, just wait for a close above that high, and then, for example, look for long from this area of demand over here, which then broke this high. So that is dollar yen. Then of course gold. So gold played out beautifully, pretty much did exactly as we anticipated on the 4-hour. As we can see over here, from a 4-hour perspective, took out the high and then just reversed in towards the downside. So there was potential for a short from there. Looking at it from a 15-minute perspective, not that much going on. But again, yeah, like what you preferably would like to see, of course, is a let me see. So yeah, kind of like what you got is a break. Like what you want to see structure, right? So you want to see structure like this and then look for that short, but again, it's just really messy. Overall, this was kind of like your change of character low, so there is some supply over here. Let's say gold pulls back, you could look for one more short in towards the downside. So keep your eyes open for that. But from a 4-hour perspective for now, I would like to see some for the downside back in towards here around 1928 region, all the way in towards 1923, and then look for potential long back up in towards this area of supply. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you listening in, and you're looking at my market perspective. Wish you all a fantastic day, and we will speak very, very soon. Thanks guys.